Hi everyone, my name is Noor and I'm from Center School of Studies Admissions Team, and today I will provide a concise overview of the requirements for ESL institutions. In this brief presentation, I will address the following, which includes institutions, the courses offered, and the campuses, the application process, which includes an overview of the required documents, personal statement guidelines, the 2 application rules for each institution covered, interview information, and English assessment options. Elizabeth School of London is partnered with 5 institutions, including Canterbury Christchurch University, Baspa University, St Mary's University, Newcastle College, and University of Bolton. However, for the January and February intake, we are not taking any applications for University of Bolton. To begin with, I will be covering the 4 institutions and the courses they offer and the campuses. This table provides a brief overview of weekday course availability across different institutions and campuses. Whilst I will cover these courses in more detail, you can use this table for a quick reference to identify which courses are offered at which specific campuses. Moving on to the weekend courses, this table provides a brief overview of weekend course availability across different institutions and the respective campuses. As I mentioned previously, this table serves as a quick reference guide to distinguish the specific courses offered at each campus. To begin with, Baspa University offers courses tailored to business and management. These include BA Business and Management with Foundation Year, which is a 4-year program, and BA Business and Management, which is a 3-year program without the Foundation Year. Baspa University also offers a BA Business and Management top-up course, which is a 1-year course. The campuses are located in London, Canary Wharf, London Holborn, Birmingham, Leeds, Manchester, and Leicester. The application process is fairly simple. As marketing officers, you have to make an application through the agent portal, and then the admission team will check the application to ensure that all necessary information is provided. And what I would like to emphasize is that it's important for you to stay in contact with the admin team to quickly complete any requested changes. As part of the application process, the agents will need to request students to complete the Duolingo test before the interview or be booked for an interview and complete the internal writing test. When making an application, please provide a valid ID with at least 6 months of validity from the course start date, or alternatively, an EU national ID, which is acceptable as long as it meets the above validity requirement. Applicants other than UK and EU must provide a BRP card, both the front and the back, along with their passports. You must also provide a personal statement consisting of 250 words or more for Baspa University, indicating your intentions and motivations for joining the university. A share code as a proof of immigration status check in the UK, whilst British passport holders are exempt from this requirement. And a term time address located within a 1-hour commute time from the campus. So when providing the personal statement, please ensure that the following guidelines are fulfilled by keeping it concise and avoiding any generic statements. Now, please request the applicant to start by providing an introduction about themselves, mentioning the name, place of origin, current residence, and how long they have lived in the UK for. Secondly, please request the applicant to provide some information about the educational background, mention the highest level of qualification achieved, and be transparent and mention if they lack any specific qualifications. Thirdly, please request the applicant to discuss their work experience and detail the current job, highlighting the responsibilities and its relevance to the course of study applied for, and explain how this job will support their academic journey and vice versa. Please ask your students to clearly state the specific course they intend to study and mention the awarding body name. Share your career goals and explain how the chosen course aligns with them. Also describe why you have chosen this particular university and the course, highlighting your reasons for applying. Please also mention why the university should accept your application and ensure that the present statement aligns with the work experience essay, maintaining consistency because any mismatch in work experience may result in your file being sent back after submission. So please always cross-check information. Basfa University recruits students in two ways, which includes the standard route with qualifications and the non-standard route without qualifications, which is through the work experience route. I will cover the two routes and as well as APO guidelines. When applying to the standard route, please provide a qualification that is no more than 5 years old from the course start date. For foundation year entry, Baspa University accepts both UK Level 2 academic qualifications with a minimum of 45 credits or Level 3 with a minimum of 60 credits. Baspa University also accepts international qualifications at Level 3, which are assessed through ACTIS. When applying to the qualification route, you must provide the certificate as well as the transcript and course completion letter or SFA approval for the provided qualification. All UK qualifications must be verifiable. Year 1 entry is through the standard route only, which is subject to qualification acceptability. Moving on to the non-standard route, if the student does not have any formal recent qualifications, they can support the application with evidence of appropriate skills and knowledge acquired through a minimum of 3 years of professional work experience in the UK. To apply to the non-standard route, please provide an APL 500 words, which must include a concise summary of work experience, a consideration of how the experience has advanced your skills and knowledge, and a summary of how the experience relates to the course of study applied for. Basically, this route provides an opportunity for applicants with work experience to demonstrate their readiness for academic studies, even in the absence of formal qualifications. For students who are from Ukraine and on Ukrainian scheme applying to the non-standard route, the entry requirements are slightly different. For instance, the work experience can be a combination of UK work experience and Ukrainian work experience, which means 1 year from the UK and 2 years from Ukraine. So I will briefly go through the requirements for providing an APO step by step. Please ensure that the APO covers a minimum of 3 years of work experience in the UK, unless the applicant is from Ukraine. As I mentioned previously, Ukrainian students may include up to 2 years of work experience from Ukraine along with their qualifications. If the job roles differ, there is no need to exceed 3 years of experience. Please ensure that the UK port entry date corresponds accurately with the work experience and that the information provided in the APL must align with the employment details discussed by the student in the interview. In terms of the word limit, it's 500 words minimum. So please adhere to the word limits for each section of the API and provide a minimum of 200 words when discussing a single job experience. And if mentioning separate job roles, a minimum of 100 words per job is required. The final answer must be a minimum of 300 words. Please ensure that the APO is written in full sentences, free from spelling mistakes and grammatical errors, and maintain a consistent font and font size throughout the APO. Since all submissions undergo a Turnitin check, the content in the APO must be entirely free from plagiarism and artificial intelligence generated content. So in this section, I will briefly take you through the template and highlight some of the most important things. So for example, when it comes to partner location, the name of the partner institution is always Elizabeth School of London, along with the location of the campus, which may be London, Leeds, Birmingham, Manchester, and so on. In terms of the course applied for, please do not alter the course template from the provided template unless you're applying for a different course. Moving on to the first part of the APO, please ensure that accurate employment information is provided, including the dates of employment in the correct format, which is month followed by year, and specify if it is the current present job. In terms of the organization name and location, please clearly state the name of the company along with the full address, including the postcode so that we can identify the company. However, if the applicant is self-employed, please provide the full address of the registered company and the UTR number along with its name in the APL. If the applicant is registered as a sole trader, please use the home address instead of the company address. And in the case of a sole trader, please specify the kind of trades the applicant engages in. For example, there may be a builder, a dry liner, or a construction worker. When mentioning duties of the role, please use short, concise bullet points to outline 5 to 6 job duties. As you can see in the example below, please ensure that these duties are not copied and pasted from internet sources, but they are original and specific. Please avoid generic statements such as I carry out several duties throughout the day. Instead, be specific and detailed when listing job duties. In terms of the second question in the APL, which is how has the role advanced your skills and knowledge, please provide a minimum of 200 words when discussing a single job experience, as I mentioned previously. Otherwise, a minimum of 100 words is required for each separate job mentioned. To address this question properly, please use the provided guidelines and begin with a concise introduction that introduces the role you're discussing and its relevance, and discuss how the role has advanced your interpersonal skills such as communication, leadership, time management, and organizational skills. I'll start by discussing how this role has advanced your communication skills by providing specific examples where effective communication was crucial to your role. Then explain how your role has allowed you to develop or showcase leadership skills and mention any leadership responsibilities or changes you have encountered in your work. Also, discuss how this role has enhanced your ability to manage your time and stay organized, and more specifically, how you have developed these skills. So, here are some guidelines on how to address this question. So, please follow these step by step. Let's examine a good and bad example for the second question. The purpose of this comparison is to illustrate the importance of addressing the question thoroughly. As you can see, the bad example does not address the question properly, and it fails to mention the skills and knowledge gained as well as how these skills were developed. The response itself is very vague and it does not follow the guidelines. However, the good example highlights several skills acquired during the role as an Uber driver and effectively illustrates how these skills were developed, demonstrating a more comprehensive response in line with the guidelines. In terms of the final question, please reflect on your overall experience, skills, and knowledge and describe how it can be related to the course of study applied for. So the requirement for this question is 300 words. Please consider the skills and experiences gained from your previous work roles and the potential contributions to your academic journey. For example, when mentioning communication skills, reflect on how your past work experiences have shaped your communication skills and explain how these communication skills will facilitate your success as a student. By considering how they may apply in studies, assignments, exams, interactions with professors, classmates, and during lectures. Similarly, when talking about leadership skills, describe the situations where you have exercised leadership in your prior roles and elaborate on how these leadership skills will benefit you as a student and think about their relevance to your studies. When discussing time management and organizational skills, mention how your work experience have helped you develop time management and organizational skills and discuss how these skills will enhance your performance as a student by considering their applicability in managing study time, completing assignments, preparing for exams, attending lectures, and so on. By following these guidelines, you will be able to provide a more comprehensive response to the final question. Here is a good and bad example again of an answer to the final question. As you can see, the bad example fails to address the question properly and it does not reflect on how the overall experience, skills, and knowledge gained will help the student academically and help them adapt to university life. Instead, it provides general information about business and management. Moving on to the good example. The good example, however, elaborates on the skills mentioned in the previous answer and links them to the chosen course by explaining how the skills will be beneficial in a university setting. For instance, it highlights how the improved communication skills will help in actively participating in classroom discussions and collaborating on group projects. It also mentions how time management problem solving skills will be valuable when balancing academic responsibilities and tackling complex assignments, which means is a well formulated answer. Moving on to the English assessment options for BASPA University. All BASPA University courses are blended, which means one day online and one day in campus. There are two English assessment options, which include the intern test or Duolingo English test. Both assessment options aim to assess the applicant's English language proficiency and are fairly simple. Between our internal test and the Duolingo English test, most applicants find that our internal test is easier. However, if you think the student is better at speaking than writing, then the Duolingo test is probably the best option. To provide you with more information about the English assessment options, the internal test is taken before or after the interview and it has a 45-minute time limit. The test has two parts, which includes writing and reading. In the writing test, the student will be presented with a choice of questions and they will be required to select one to answer. The response should consist of a minimum of 200 words. The format of the test is essay style, so good structure, spelling, and grammar is very important. In the reading test, they will be required to read a small piece of text and answer 6 multiple choice questions based on the text. They will need to get 4 out of 6 questions correct to pass, which is very similar to a comprehension basically. Moving on to the Duolingo English test option, students must score 85 out of 160. The test time is 1 hour and it is normally paid £40 per test. Applicants are given up to 2 free codes, and to be given a free code, they have to complete a practice test and score a minimum of 90. In terms of the English assessment options for BASPA University, anti-test will involve an interview, an internal writing test, or Duolingo test, in which they must score 85 out of 160, unless the student has an exemption for the writing test. Students will not have to do the writing test if they have level 3 with 60 credits from Pearson, ATHE, City and Guilds, and Focus Awards. In the interview, students will be asked questions based on the work experience and qualifications provided in the application, and if they don't match, the student will be rejected. Moving on to the second institution, Canterbury Christchurch University recruits students in 2 ways, which includes the standard route with qualifications and the non-standard route without qualifications, which is basically to the work experience route. I will cover the 2 application routes as well as the CV guidelines. Canterbury Christchurch University provides courses such as BSc Accounting and Finance with Foundation Year, which is a 4 years program, and BSc Business and Management with Foundation Year, which is also a 4 years program. Canterbury Christchurch University also offers BSc Business and Management with Year 1 entry, which is a 3-year course, and BSc in Accounting and Finance with Year 1 entry, which is also a 3 years course without the foundation year. The campuses are located in Birmingham, Leeds, London, Canary Wharf, Manchester, and Northampton. When applying to the standard route for Foundation END, Canterbury Christchurch University accepts both UK Level 2 academic qualifications with a minimum of 45 credits or Level 3 with a minimum of 60 credits. Canterbury Christchurch University also accepts international qualifications at Level 3, which are assessed to ACTIS. When applying to the qualification route, you must provide the certificate page, a transcript, and course completion letter or SFE approval for the provided qualification. All UK qualifications must be verifiable, and Year 1 entry is through the standard route only, as I mentioned previously for Baspa University. Moving on to the non-standard route, if the student does not have any formal recent qualifications, they can support the application through the CV route, which must cover 2 years of UK work experience. The CV must have a short profile about the student, the work experience, which must cover 2 years of UK work experience, and education section, which must mention the type of qualification received, such as secondary school leaving diploma, the school name and country where they have studied, and the skills section. For students who are from Ukraine and on Ukrainian scheme applying to the non-standard route, the entry requirements are slightly different. For instance, the work experience can be a combination of UK work experience and Ukrainian work experience. So in this case, for Canterbury Christchurch University, it has to be 1 year from the UK and 1 year from Ukraine. Since the non-standard route for Canterbury Christchurch University is entirely based on the submission of a comprehensive CV, it's important to ensure that students meet these requirements and follow the provided guidelines. This is an example of a great template that we provide to all marketing officers because it provides a step-by-step guide on what the CV should consist of. For example, applicants should mention their full name, home address, telephone number, and email address. They should start by providing a professional academic summary and briefly state their academic and career goals. Now, when mentioning work experience, applicants should ensure that accurate employment information is provided, including the dates of employment in the correct format, which is month followed by year, and specify if it is the current present job. Following days of employment, applicants must add the job title, company name and location, and list job duties and responsibilities in short bullet points, which must be 5 to 10 words per bullet point. In terms of the education section, students must follow this structure, the provided structure, where they must provide a year of education, and in particular the final year when they left school. They should mention the type of qualification received, such as secondary school leaving diploma, the school name and country where they have studied, and mention up to which class they have attended. For example, it may be 7th class or 8th class, and indicate if the qualification has been completed. If not, please provide a brief explanation for the non-completion, for example, lost access or incomplete diploma. In terms of the skills, please list 4 to 6 interpersonal skills such as communication, time management skills, collaborative teamwork, and problem-solving skills, and highlight any academic and non-academic passions or volunteering experiences. Although the activities section is not mandatory, you can include it. What I would like to mention is please maintain font consistency throughout the CV and ensure that the CV is at least 1 full page in length. Okay, so moving on, applicants under the age of 21 can only apply through the qualification route, and they must provide a UK Level 3 qualification equivalent to EU High School Diploma or UK Level 2 qualification with 1 year of work experience through the CV. This is an example of the application profile. When submitting applications to Canterbury Christchurch University, please carefully consider these specific details, such as the UK port entry date. Please ensure that the UK port entry date is provided and that it aligns accurately with the information discussed during the interview, as well as the information given in the CV, because any mismatch in the provided documents will result in the rejection of the application, as I mentioned previously. In addition to this, the section named highest qualification on entry must be completed both on the application profile as well as on the CV, and it must be a true reflection of their highest qualification on entry. Please always double check the applicant's provided email address to prevent any miscommunication. If the provided email address is incorrect, it causes unnecessary delays in receiving an unconditional offer. So it's very important that as agents you provide the correct email address. In terms of the term time address, please always provide a term time address located within a 1 hour commute time from the campus. All CCCU courses are 2 days in campus. In terms of the English assessment options for Canterbury Christchurch University, the entry test will involve an interview and internal writing test, unless the student has an exemption for the writing test. Students will not have to do the writing test if they have level 3 with 60 credits from Pearson, ATHE, City and Guilds, and Focus Awards, as I mentioned previously for Basketball University. In the interview, students will be asked questions based on the work experience and qualifications provided in the application. And like I said, if they don't match, the student will be rejected. So please always ensure that there is no mismatch between, the provided documents. St. Mary's University. So the third institution, St. Mary's University, recruits students in 2 ways, again, which includes the standard route with qualifications and the non-standard route without qualifications, which is through the work experience route. St. Mary University offers BA in Business Management and Marketing with foundation year, which is a 4-year program, and they offer both weekend and weekday courses across Birmingham, London Canary Wharf, and Manchester. When applying through the standard route for foundation year entry, St. Mary University accepts UK Level 3 academic qualifications with a minimum of 60 credits. St. Mary's University also accepts international qualifications at Level 3, which are assessed through ACTIS. When applying through the qualification, again, you must provide the certificate transcript and course completion letter or SFE approval for the provided qualification. If you do not have formal or recent qualifications, you can always support your application through the CV route, which must cover 2 years of UK work experience. For the non-standard route, applicants must be aged over 21, and the CV must cover a minimum of 2 years of UK work experience. The student will need to complete a simple maths test, and they must score 85 out of 160 in the Duolingo test. All SMU courses are blended, which means 1 day online and 1 day in campus. In terms of the English assessment options, for St. Mary's University, anti-tests will involve a general interview, a simple maths test, and a Duolingo test in which they must score 85 out of 160 unless the student has an exemption. Students will not have to do the Duolingo test if they have level 3 with 60 credits from Pearson, ATHE, City and Guilds, and Focus Awards. The fourth institution, Newcastle College, offers both the standard route with qualifications and a non-standard route without qualifications, which is through the work experience route. Newcastle College offers a Certificate of Higher Education in Business Management, Certificate of Higher Education in Computing, and Certificate of Higher Education in Health and Social Care. The Certificate of Higher Education courses are all 1 year. They give a level 4 qualification. Newcastle College also offers a foundation degree in Business Management, a foundation degree in Science Computing, and a foundation degree in Integrated Health, Social Care, and Wellbeing. The foundation degree courses are 2 years and they give a level 5 qualification, and then you can move on to a top-up course from birth in order to get a full degree. The campuses are located in Leeds, Leicester, and Northampton. When applying through the standard route, Newcastle College accepts UK Level 3 or EU Overseas High School Diploma, which must be equivalent to UK Level 3 with 64 UCAS tariff points or equivalent. When applying to the qualification route, the student must provide a certificate page, transcript, and course completion letter or SFE approval. If the student does not have any formal recent qualifications, they can always support the application through the CV route, which must cover 2 years of UK work experience. The requirements for providing a CV for Newcastle College for the FDA and FDSC courses slightly differ from the requirements for providing a CV for CCCU. For example, when mentioning work experience, please mention the full address and postcode as well as the job title. Applicants are also required to mention the weekly contracted hours. Applicants should also list job duties in short, concise bullet points and mention what has been done, how has it been done, and the results achieved. If the student is unemployed, please state the period of unemployment. In the format of date followed by month and year, and state the reason for why they are unemployed. In the skills section, please list a minimum of 45 skills which must match the job description. In the education section, please provide the year of education and mention the type of qualification received, the school name and country where they have studied. Please also mention up to which class they have attended and indicate if the qualification has been completed. And if not, please provide a brief explanation for the non-completion, for example, lost access or incomplete diploma. Any qualification mentioned in the CV must be provided unless you clearly mention the reason for non-completion. And if they are unable to provide them, please mention it by stating qualification not available. In the benefits section, if the student is currently receiving any benefits, please mention which benefits they are receiving for the purpose of this CV. For the Certificate of Higher Education courses, the applicant must complete the NCG employment form for their most recent work experience, where they must state the job role followed by name of workplace, full address including the postcode, days of employment, and national insurance number. As part of this employment form, the applicants are required to indicate the weekly employment hours, followed by type of benefits received. And if unemployed, they are supposed to mention the time period for unemployment. When submitting applications to Newcastle College, the UK entry date must be provided, and the highest level of qualification on entry must be completed on the profile page. All Newcastle College courses are blended, which means 1 day online and 1 day in campus. In terms of the English assessment options for Newcastle College, the entry test will involve a general interview and internal writing test, unless the student has an exemption for the writing test. Students will not have to do the writing test for FDA and FDSC courses if they have level 3 with 60 credits from Pearson, ATHG, CT and Guilds, and Focus Awards. If the student is applying to the Certificate of Higher Education in Computing, they will have to do an entry test for computing courses in which they have unlimited attempts to pass the test. Thank you. That's the end of the presentation. Thank you for taking the time to watch the presentation to the very end. Thank you.